when my sister and I were growing up, everyone we knew had black and white televisions. But we had a family friend who, when we went over to their house and watched their black and white television, their parents would bring out this clear plastic sheet and it would be tinted red or green or blue or whatever. And they would place it over the front of the TV screen. So, in effect, we had color TV, which was really pretty cool. Well, it's been a few years since I came here, so I thought I'd stop in today and see what's new.
See, I did so many tours for so many different groups. I feel like a lot of that's all.
California Museum is in downtown Sacramento, 2 blocks south of the capital. It consists of 2 floors. Most of the exhibits are on the first floor, but you start by going up. This museum was spearheaded by Arnold Schwarzenegger's cuckolded wife, Maria Shriver, so it's entirely appropriate that many of the exhibits are about women. In typical fashion at this museum, there are large images toward the top of the walls, and down below are smaller descriptions. One of the strengths of this museum, and it has several, is that the exhibits are arranged in a way that allows visitors to learn a lot more about the subjects. Audio recordings of the people's voices or more in-depth biographies are available at the touch of a button, often from a touch screen. And there are some additional videos that can be called up in addition to voices and other modes of description. I happened to go to the museum on the last day of an exhibit that had been there for several months. It was about Sacramento's Japantown, which was thriving before World War II, but then was interrupted, of course, by the internment of Japanese Americans. Following that, I walked through this rather unique area where it has special exhibits for those who are hearing impaired or visually impaired. This is an example of one of those ways you can learn more if you push a button.
Yo soy Mari Carmen, soy originaria de la Ciudad de México. Tengo viviendo en el área de la Bahía 20 años y me trabajo en el sector salud.
Heading downstairs, I passed a sign that identified the state fish. There's another exhibit tied to Japanese Americans, and it's on the first floor, and it includes a film that talks about the World War II years.
Flower seeds, morning glory seeds, gobo, the Japanese burdock seeds even, all these things, all vegetables of all kinds. And lo and behold, I tell you, you never know what it's like to see a first plant come up and survive.
Moving along, I encountered this small exhibit about energy and fuel gas exploration in California. Right next to that were several rooms dedicated to the region's original inhabitants, Native Americans, American Indians. You can read about them, and I thought this piece of art was interesting. A Native American on a subway, it looks like. Right across from the Indian exhibit was one about the missions. California missions, of course, are part of the state's controversial history and reflect some things that happened just after Europeans started coming here. This health exhibit, which has such bright colored walls, it's not something I really spent a lot of time in. Not sure I really understood its purpose. I'm all for good nutrition. Maybe that was it. Of more interest to me was the Chinese American rooms, including talk about railroads.
In 1864, Central Pacific Railroad was recruiting workers to lay railroad tracks to connect the West Coast to the East Coast. I'd grown to 6 feet, tall for a Chinese man, and I spoke English. I was hired right away and made foreman of a crew and go-between with the white bosses. Chinese workers got the most dangerous jobs, especially when the railroad reached the high Sierras.
Hey, did you hear the banjo in that video clip? It appears there's no way to avoid a banjo. Sorry about that. Also difficult to avoid, not that you would want to, are the many displays related to the California Hall of Fame, which has been going on now for 19 years. Every year there's a new crop of California-related people. Admission to the museum is $10 general and $8 for seniors. Well worth it. Consider going if you're in town.